It seems LEGO has added yet another new color to the list. Yep. At first I thought they were bringing back Blue Violet from Knight's Kingdom 2, but that wasn't the case. You are technically correct, though, as the new color is indeed called Blue Violet. Yes, but it's not the old Blue Violet, which is officially labeled Royal Blue. Not to worry, Bricklink has renamed the old Blue Violet to its official name to avoid future confusion. If only it was that simple. LEGO has had a history of confusing color names, and it was only late last year with the updated color guide that it's become clear on what is what. But Bricklink is not the only source for this information. There is also Rebrickable and Brick Owl, to name a couple. Yeah, but Bricklink's color guide feels more robust, like with its feature to display only currently produced colors. Although I will say I'm not well versed in using the other sites. I guess that is what happens when you become directly affiliated with the LEGO group. I guess. But maybe if LEGO used a more coherent naming system, we wouldn't have this problem in the first place. I mean, for the plain old red, blue, and green, LEGO calls them bright red, bright blue, and dark green, with bright green being a completely different color. And the darker versions suffer the same issue. Regardless, it is probably a good thing they have started using the official names for new colors, given that in the last 10 years, LEGO has been creating quite a few of them. I know, but it's still a bit annoying that there's no real structure. But most of the new colors are what Bricklink calls special colors, which are, in their words, colors typically reserved for certain themes or used for finishing models, leaving only 5 standard colors: coral, neon yellow, reddish orange, blue violet, and warm pink. Quite a varied selection. Yeah, but most of them feel unnecessary. How so? Well, take neon yellow. From a distance, it looks almost just like plain yellow, which can quickly get confusing. Same with reddish orange. You have to do a double take to see if it's actually plain orange or not. And the aforementioned bright green, while an older color, is also in the same vein. So you disapprove of colors that blend in with others? Yes. Having multiple shades of a color provides complexity and definition, but the ones I just mentioned do so only to a nominal degree. But is it not better to have additional colors to allow for more creativity? LEGO is a building toy, and at the end of the day the builds are going to show signs of such, and having an exact shade of a color isn't going to go as far as, say, buying an actual model car or something. And the problem arises that, the more shades you have, the smaller variety of pieces each color will likely be produced in, which will potentially make it more difficult to build in one particular color. Plus, the steady and considerable amount of new molds each year isn't going to help that. I see. Another gripe I have is that the color distribution is somewhat lopsided. For instance, of the currently produced colors, we have 9 shades of blue, 7 shades of green, but only 3 shades of red, one of those being reddish orange. 4 shades. You forgot magenta is there too. Technically, but I say it's too purpley. So this whole argument is because you do not have enough shades of red? No. There's not enough purple too. At least, not matching purple. I am not sure I follow. Let me illustrate with blue. We have our primary blue, a dark blue, and a lighter blue, in this case medium blue, and even sand blue. Same with the greens. We have our primary green, dark green, bright green, and sand green. With the other color groups, we don't quite have that symmetry going on. Instead, just a bunch of colors that happen to reside in the same family. And colors like sand red, sand purple, even medium green already exist. They just haven't been produced in 2 decades. And yet LEGO creates new other colors for the sake of, I don't know, I suppose they have a good reason. Do you think it is necessary to have a sand shade for every color group? Probably not, but it would be nice to have 4 matching shades. Of course. Another color there is a bit of a lack of is flat silver, despite pearl gold becoming a more common sight these days. When it comes to actual bricks and such, LEGO still produces a fair amount in metallic silver. True, but metallic silver and metallic gold are what are referred to as drum lacquered colors, which I assume means they are more expensive to make. Should we add copper into the mix? I mean, sure, why not? It'd be nice to have a decent pool of copper pieces to go with silver and gold. But maybe we're getting ahead of ourselves. Now might be a good of time as any to petition LEGO to adopt your ideas, since Bricklink is hosting an activity called Celebrate Your Colors. While that is a very peculiar coincidence, like I said earlier, I imagine they have their reasons for how they do things, and my view is purely subjective anyway. Then perhaps we should call it here. Not a bad idea. If you'd like to put in your 2 cents on the topic, feel free to leave a comment below. But that's it for this video. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good one.